Hello and welcome to the New Indian Express Online. I'm Bansi Kalapa. This week we're going to be talking about the Omicron scare. We have 3 days for the important Legislative Council polls, which will be held across the state, where about 25 council seats, which is one of the biggest chunks, are going to the polls. Also, in less than a week, we have the important legislature session. So both these are very important political events. How prepared are we? These are questions before us. Now we have Dr. Edmond Fernandes. Doctor, my first question to you is, what are the characteristics of Omicron?
Omicron has spike protein substitutes with large mutations. Hence, this reduces the effect of vaccine. And that's why we are seeing a panic and alarm bell ringing all around the world, because Omicron as a variant of coronavirus is rapidly changing its mutations, and because of which the efficacy of vaccines is now getting compromised a bit.
Until now, we were concerned about the Delta variant. So now the question is, what are the differences if you look at the virus between the Delta as against Omicron?
Omicron has to be detected by genomic sequence, and as such, Delta variant did not need genomic sequencing. However, conflicting studies are emerging every day, and currently it seems while Omicron is more contagious, the effects on human beings is more milder than Delta variant, and hence there is absolutely no reason to panic.
We saw so many children expressing happiness and joy that schools have reopened. Now, the big question is, with this Omicron scare, how safe, how protected are our children? Because let's remember, many of them have not taken their 2 doses of vaccine.
There is no complete data on how Omicron will behave on children, and therefore maintaining sanity is the wisest thing to do, rather than speculations and assumptions that children who are not fully vaccinated might be very vulnerable. This is only going to create more panic among parents. This is only going to again jeopardize the academic year for school children. So, unless we really have concrete data which suggests children are vulnerable, let us hope that nothing adverse happens and Omicron passes away without having its impact on children.
Most of us assumed life had returned to normal. So it was housewarming, naming ceremonies, marriages, all almost normal. So when someone has to go about celebrating a social occasion and has a large guest crowd, what do they do? How do they go about it?
Let people gather. Humans are social beings and are programmed to live by meeting each other, talking to each other, moving out. That's how we're programmed to live. We're not programmed to live in social isolation. We must be merciful about the fact that it's over 2 years now. And let's not bat for saying reduce the number of people at gatherings, lockdowns, heavy distancing which permits only minimalistic people. That's not the best of things to do. Rather, stop the entry of non-vaccinated people and those who feel that they don't need a mask. That is very integral to sustainability. Paralyzing gatherings is not going to help. It's not going to help anybody. It's not going to help the organizers. It's not going to help the economy. So let us focus to ensure that only those who are fully vaccinated are permitted and those who are compliant with wearing a mask are permitted in such gatherings.
My next question to you is, they say Omicron spreads very fast. So how do we go about really finding out the primary and secondary contacts?
Stick to the timeless creed of wearing a mask, maintaining physical distancing, and getting fully vaccinated with 2 doses. Not to forget, hygiene standards remain very, very crucial for ensuring that coronavirus does not breed and thrive. Everything else that you hear and read and talk about is just noise.
These are questions before many of us. Should we just continue with the 2 doses or should we start the booster immediately?
I would still prefer 2 doses with the use of mask at all times, and that is what common sense would also tell us to do. Giving a booster dose in a place or in a geography where over 40% of people haven't even completed the full vaccines is not just against social justice, but it only serves to make pharmaceutical companies more rich and nothing else. People are made to fear on all forums related to COVID-19, and thriving on fear is a wrong thing to do in a world where already people are sufficiently worried about the future of their children and their children's children.
Well, how effective are the vaccines? Because most of us are receiving vaccines which was produced in response to the virus which was taken, the samples of which were taken in 2019.
Vaccines continue to be effective against serious hospitalization, severe hospitalization, and illnesses, including death. Hence, safeguarding ourselves with 2 full doses of the vaccine is integral to smooth progress. Not to forget the timeless creed of preventive means of protecting ourselves from COVID-19 by the usage of a mask properly worn.
Omicron is a challenge all of us need to face. So it is compulsory mask, compulsory social distancing, and all the COVID protocols have to be in place, and let us be extra safe. With camera person Vinod, this is Bansi for the Talk Room.